Sorry, guys. Oh, Jesus. This is going so well. So, guys, the stream's
We'll
now
get it.
back online. We just started. So
All
what
right.
Cortello was talking about was that the middle area is a bit of a killing field, whereas there aren't, it isn't, like, there's quite a lot of cover outside of it, but I was just pointing out these
Oh, that's
side
not-
bits, like, on the left and right-hand side of things, and the stream is still online. Good, good, good. So yeah, just talking about these left and right passages that really offer ways to skirt around this central area. Okay. Sorry, I'm just turning down more of these settings. Do you? So yeah, Dark Riku is currently expanding down the right-hand side, trying to harass this guardsman, and this Lictor Alpha trying to do some work and just waste some of this Grunk's time. And look at how much more efficient Riku is being. He's gonna get one VP. He's gonna get another Power Node and decap, whereas like here's Grunk is only decapping one Power Node. It's not really a good trade for time. Patella, you still with me?
Yes, I'm still with you, although I just kind of did something since just wanted to be prepared just in case I need to leave. But
Okay.
I guess I kind of missed your comment.
Oh, I was just saying that like overall Riku has been more efficient with his time, and like it's reflected in map control right now. Like it's still very close, but this Commissar Lord is going to have to retreat soon, and Riku after all this is going to end up with the slightly superior map control.
Yeah, and probably like letting the Commissar decap that point under the fire from those termagants. Probably not the greatest play. I don't think decapping that VP is hugely important at this point in the game, and he's going to relatively lose the field presence of that Commissar, at least lose the ability to use him in an actual engagement. Right now he's keeping him on just so he can cap with him.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, in the end, there's the flash hook bugging for Riku, but then again, he was just getting a guardsman model, so he can't be too bothered. But in the end, like that Commissar is a real key unit with dealing with these warriors, and it's really gonna as you say, like it's gonna reduce the overall field presence of the Commissar, and as a result, make this next push that Grunk wants to make even harder.
But both players, they seem to be prioritizing map control over engagements right now. A lot of unit splitting, a very passive play, running around capturing points rather than actually fighting.
Well, what Grunk's managed to do is, and Riku as well, is they create a very imbalanced map control situation. Like, you know, there are a lot of games which are like, you know, this is the front line, and the front line moves back and forth, you know? And there isn't really much back capping. And in this game already, there's not only been back decapping, but there's also been back capping, which means that there's so much imbalance in terms of, like, it really emphasizes this kind of map control style instead of looking for engagements and pushing and, like, you know, pushing back on this front line. So, you still with me, Pratella? Because you're lagging.
I'm still here, but yes, I am lagging. And what I told Riku at least is that if he wants me to leave, then just say it and I will leave, so.
Well, Riku's currently conceding a 3-power bash right now. Like, 3 gen's gonna go down very quickly.
And it looks like I'm probably gonna have to leave, and I'll leave you here.
Alright.
Alright. I'm gonna step out, and I'll leave you to it.
So yeah, Grunk getting these flamers. It's a very interesting
Or
choice.
seems okay for now.
Okay. Yeah, so currently already conceded 3 gens, but Riku's gonna get this counter bash, but look that this requires 3 squads and quite a lot of time from that, and he's gonna be conceding a warrior model, which is going to make it easier for Grunk to push now with the catechins. But at the same time though, Grunk is currently gonna be stuck with a flamer, and a flamer is relatively easy to tie up, especially with Lictor Alpha. So in the long term, I want to get this gen bash out. I want to go for early middle game. I don't want to like keep these guardsmen to like get plasma guns and really aim for the end game. So gets the flesh hook. Now he just retreats. You know, getting that bleed, and Grunk, this is a very good engagement. These Termagants don't retreat. I don't know what Riku's thinking.
Yeah, I think overstaying their welcome a little bit.
Yeah, in the end, like, against Flamers especially, I mean, one of the things that people might or might not have noticed is there's a dynamic, like, with swarmier units, like, they kind of don't like, you know, it doesn't really take that long to heal them back up to full. If they're on 8 of 8 but they're nearly at empty, it doesn't take them really that long to, sorry, not 8 of 8, like 4 of 8. You can get them back into fighting shape quite quickly with 4 reinforcements and get them back onto the field. But if you've got like 2 out of 3 attacks on like less than a quarter health, it generally takes quite a lot of time to get them back on the field. So it's a trade-off. Like, reinforcements can be both a good and a bad thing versus like heal time.
It's something I've noticed. I don't know if other people notice, but squads like Chaos Space Marines and Tax, even if you lose like no models, you can lose a lot of field presence by waiting for them to heal up to full.
And this is why I think some people underestimate, like, when people talk about if something beats something for cost, because if you throw like an Assault Marine against like a Slugger 1-on-1, you might win, and you will win. You know, if the Slugger just uses war and has nothing else, they will definitely win every game, every engagement. But then the ASM has to retreat, and then you haven't got your ASM to counter the range. Then what? You know? Okay, really strong push coming.
Oh, this is not good. That Guardsman squad might go down pretty close.
No, just the Tyranid speed, like, Raveners with their, I think, 7.5, Homogons with 6.5, that Guardsman was never getting away. But really interesting choice to drop this proximity minefield. I don't know what it accomplishes. I mean, apart from maybe wasting the Warrior Boost time, but then it working horrendously against the Catechins when Riku targets the mines. I mean, it's just completely turned around, and instead of being God.
Yeah, this is actually not a good situation at all for Grunk. This could be, I hate to call things early, but it's certainly not a good situation. Losing a Guardsman squad, probably going to lose his entire power farm.
Yeah, in the end, like, Grunk's gone for, oh no, the Sentinel's really hurt, and it goes down. I don't know what's snared exactly, but...
You know what? I think it may have actually been Crippling Poison.
What? Since when has that been working on Sentinels?
Or actually, you know what? It's either that, or he may have been hit by his own mines.
Yeah, I think that was probably it, in fact, because mines have a long snare time, right?
I thought I had heard at one point that crippling poison worked on Sentinels.
Yeah, you used to be the case that everything worked on Sentinels, like full auto from Apothecary worked, and that was pretty stupid, actually. Like, that Apothecary, like, hard countering Sentinels with, like, full auto was, yeah, pretty insane. But anyway, getting back to the game. I think that Grunk could have been okay, like, had he not lost both of them. Because in the end, like, Riku, at that time, had no farm. Like, he just put down 3 new generators. And, like, with one, you know, because what Grunk's ended up with is, like, just a heavy squad-based army that has actually no answer whatsoever to this Barb Strangler Warrior group. I think, it really proves the point that, like, the Barb Strangler is, like, an amazing choice against Imperial Guard and swarmy races in general. But yowza, that Homogon just tearing stuff up.
In my experience, that Barb Strangler it seems pretty good in general. I think in part because it probably is going to necessitate some kind of, like, some kind of jump unit, or not really necessitate, but it can certainly pressure you to get one.
Yeah.
Just make you spend more power, and then otherwise it really can be annoying if you don't have some kind of jump unit or anything like that, and you're just getting much of your army suppressed, even if it's just one unit. Especially a squishier unit that will get forced off pretty quickly from after, I'd say, like 2 shots from the Barb Strangler.
Are you talking about, like, against, like, in all matchups, or just in particular blobby races?
Certainly more than just this matchup. I've definitely had some difficulty dealing with it as Chaos, just especially forcing off heretics pretty quickly and holding much of my army in place.
Yeah, Chaos in particular probably, but if he goes Barb Strangler and 2 Termagants, I would strongly recommend getting Noise Marines. Like, I mean, the main thing is that with Warrior Brutes, it's a trade-off. like that melee leap is a really useful disruptive force in the middle. I mean, just imagine like having a warlock leap, but with double the frequency. Like it can be very potent. But then you lose that when you have the Barb Strangler, which is definitely a good thing because it used to be the case you retain that. I can't remember how long ago, but it definitely used to be the case. Anyway, Riku emphasizing this heavy ranged build, like I don't know, I don't think it was necessary, and like in a way, Grunk has some counterplay with the Chimera, but yeah, here comes the Capillary Towers, and like Grunk just has to run away.
I mean, Grunk, oh, he's going to lose the Commissar. Grunk at least has some time where he's kind of back in this game on the power of that Chimera. Riku not having any counters to it right now, but I imagine Riku is probably going to make his first purchase of Venom Brood, and I'm right.
I don't think even that matters that much, though, because in the end, the Chimera cannot cap, and Grunk losing his Commissar Lord is even more significant, because now he's only got 2 cappers.
And I was about to say, he's about to lose every single point on the map.
Yeah, I mean, even if he didn't, it was an eventuality that was just going to happen because he doesn't have the squad count to maintain map control. Like, Grunk can literally go around gen bashing for the rest of this game, and he will not. And he has 0 prospects. Like he needs to get more. He needs to get more squad count and actually start capping these points. Yeah, Stormtrooper. There you go.
Oh, he's getting Stormtroopers. I mean, I think he kind of needs this Chimera. If he just has infantry squads just without the Chimera, I think he's probably going to be losing the engagements just on Dark Riku having so much more ranged fire.
Oh, no doubt.
As well as having ways to control, like, if for whatever reason Grunk decided to get Orins, I'm not even necessarily saying that would be a good choice. He would have to deal with, like, Crippling Poison as well as the Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. So I think he needs this, just something that's going to be not really vulnerable to all that massive amount of range fire.
Yeah.
But he's still getting pushed back a lot, and eventually he's going to have to get out and repair that Chimera.
It's the problem is that like it's kind of in a way ironic, but okay, that's a good flare. Last time he used a flare wasn't particularly good, but it's kind of ironic because Grunk has all this has a Chimera, but arguably he has no mobility.
And I think he just lost his Catachans.
Yep.
He also has no money to reinforce any of the units. Okay. And he calls it GG.
Yeah, he drops the GG. But I think I noticed this in the past. But yeah, again, Grunk, like his red use wasn't really correct in my opinion. Like, yes, the flare is useful against the range builds especially, but he really should be like thinking more about like loyal to the end. I mean, those mines did nothing for him. In fact, they worked against him.
Those mines, it's definitely a very difficult global to learn how to use. I know Stoned Elfboy uses it a lot, but it's something, since it really doesn't have an immediate effect, it's something you're kind of banking on it doing something for you later. And it's often also, obviously, when it gets detected, it doesn't even do damage.
I mean, the problem is that against Tyranids, like, he's got warriors everywhere. Like, it was never going to be that beneficial against Riku. You know?
Yeah, and it's interesting to see, even Stone Elfboy will sometimes go for them, even if his opponent has, like, an abundance of detectors, but I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I think a lot of people probably don't really understand the best use of those mines.
Oh, jeez. I actually literally have... okay, so...
What happened?
I don't know how to, like, change my header to, like, say something different in this short space of time. Because, whatchamacallit, Milty told me to use GIMP, and I downloaded this morning, so I don't know any of the interface. So, yay for everything being difficult. You know what? Screw it. We can tell people what the score is at the beginning of every game. We are not wasting this much time.
Alright. Well, you know what? The second time you do it, you'll have everything perfect.
Yeah, well... I think you're being a bit optimistic there, mate. Wait, is there best of one? or something. I thought it was the best of 3.
It's a best of 2. You play 2 games, and then whoever wins the most. Sorry, that's an old inside joke I have from something.
Ah, I see. I mean,
Swear up.
for a second there, I was thinking like they do have best of 2s technically, in like, well, they don't call it best of 2, but they have that in Dota, but that tends to be with group stages. So
It was just something with I was at some kind of video game tournament, and there was an inexperienced tournament organizer saying best of 2. And it just became a big joke.
ouch! I bet they get remembered. That gets remembered for a while. So yeah, guys, we're gonna have a best of 71 now. So first to 36, go.
Codex, you're still streaming, right?
Yep, we're still live because I'm expecting Grunk to be coming back, and we shouldn't be having a break right now. Phobist Grunk. So yeah, going back to well, let's just talk about that game then. I reckon, because this ain't happened. Oh, he crashed. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, going back to that game, I think that part of the problem was inefficient red use. He should have been trying to make like blob stands, but also he needed to tie up the barb strangler as soon as possible somehow. Like, it doesn't really matter how, just get something in there. I mean, if I were him, I would have led the line with the Commissar Lord and the Sentinel, try to get a stop off and try to get the melee started and just stop that barb strangler from shooting, because once that's out of the fight, then a Sentinel, 2 guardsmen, a Catachin, and a Commissar Lord should more than be able to handle what the turret is throwing at him.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as that barb strangler, tying it up, that's just, again, one of the things that can be tough as far as, like, for many other races, that would kind of pressure you maybe to get a jump unit. Whereas if he tries to run in with the Commissar, you still just have to be careful about 2 termagants with crippling poison that can just snare him in place, and then not only that, but like force the Commissar off pretty early.
Well, that's the main thing about the dual charge with using a Commissar and the Sentinel, because termagants counter the counter range. Oh, sorry, counter melee effectively, and they also counter Sentinels. So you use that crippling poison, and then what? You got 2 choices to DPS down. You can DPS down the Commissar, force him to retreat, or you can DPS down the Sentinel. You can't do both, not with just 2 termagants.
I think another potential answer out of Imperial Guard, not that Grunk is going to be playing Imperial Guard anymore for the rest of the game, is a combination of getting the Power Sword for the Commissar with the Lead by Example ability, as well as just Catachan knock down either the Shotgun Blast or preferably the Old Reliable to stop at least the Termagants for a little bit, since that Lead by Example ability at least allows them to like get in very quickly.
If I were him, I would look for an opportune target to Old Reliable, because you don't want to Old Reliable the Warrior Brood away, because then it's harder to tie them up. What you want to do is, like, say he's got a blob of 2 Termagants together and the Warrior Brood. Like, if you knock away the Termagants, it means you have a better chance of getting in and tying up the Warrior Brood quickly, and then you make your charge, because it disrupts the ranged retaliation, because that's what you're concerned about, right?
Yeah, that's actually what I was trying to say, like using Old Reliable on the Termagants and then letting the Commissar try to go and tie up the Warrior Brood without having to worry about